Well, off the bat, you know, I'm seeing a ban on Lotus from Dark Zero, right? And that makes a lot of sense. You know, they lost it in the last matchup 13-4. They obviously felt like, you know what, this is not a map where you know, we can fix the issues that are being exposed. Let's just go ahead and ban it and take our luck on Haven here. So you're seeing Fluffy are going to pick that Haven. Dark Zero are going to pick the Sunset. Obviously, they took that win in the last matchup. Although it was in overtime, very close match, but it was still a map that went in Dark Zero's favor, right? So they obviously feel very comfortable on there, right? Yeah, and we'll see the bind again. Again, you know.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry. I was going to say, the one thing about Haven that's kind of throwing me off as well is Dark Zero didn't actually look that insane on the map. Like, yeah, they were a little comfortable on it, but they kind of got blown out of the water. But maybe they think that it was kind of a fluke because they did not have weeded and there were some role swaps when they were playing against their last matchup. So it kind of makes sense. But in that regard, we haven't seen Fluffy aimers play Haven yet. It's one of their map pools that they've sort of kept in their sleeves. So it's going to be a lot of like X factor on the side of Fluffy aimers where we don't really know what to expect, and neither does Dark Zero. So they don't really have that much prep on the map.
Surely that's
a fluke, I think Fluffy aimers actually might low-key have won the veto here in some weird way.
Definitely possible.
It could be. Yeah, it could be in the way that these maps play out. And this is what you need to pull up when you come to playoffs, when you come to the finals, when you're trying to make it to Ascension. This is what we're seeing, that the cards that the teams are playing on, the map pool, the agents that they're changing, the ideas that they have, everything that they've been prepping throughout the year for this moment. But before we keep going, we want to remind you guys, and we want to thank our sponsor, Blacklight. They are great at understanding what us, the pro players, everybody needs when it comes to desks, to chairs, to being comfortable. I mean, Psycho has a chair. There's no better explanation. If he has it, you guys need to get one. You can get 20%.
I'm stoked. Am I wearing sleeves? I was actually gonna go biking, but I decided not to. So yeah, the sleeves are on. Sleeves are on today. Almost had a no sleeve day. Yeah, what? We're talking about my sleeves. We should be talking about this man not wearing a suit. He's not dressed up for the occasion.
What was your prediction for today? And has that changed since you saw the maps?
Ooh, okay. So my prediction was that this was going to be a Dark Zero. I mean, their story is just too good. It's like, it's kind of hard to hate their story, right? They've had many trials and tribulation. They have weeded now. There's probably a resurgence of confidence, a resurgence of energy. I mean, it's gonna be a whole different vibe. I think we're gonna see a pretty interesting matchup. But I'm giving the edge slightly towards Dark Zero. I think they've learned a lot from their last loss, as well as their last loss to Fluffy Aimers.
Dude, my brain always does this. Don's fucking. I just call him Don. Psycho, right? It's Psycho. It's not Sicko. It's Psycho. God damn it, dude. My brain literally will do this every time. No matter how many times I confirm it, I gaslight myself the next time into thinking it's the opposite one. It doesn't matter how many times I do this. There's no point even telling me. There's no point. I'm not even going to read it. Psycho.
The kind of boost that gives to morale, team atmosphere. They're getting all that chemistry back. They feel like this is, you know, this is something.
That's how I'm going to remember it right there. That's perfect. Psycho. Harley Davidson. He looks like a psycho that rides a Harley Davidson. Sicko doesn't really work out. I got it.
Today.
And I feel like one of the points that we mentioned, or we saw even in the video, was Mame when he was talking about how the team has really good aim.
He's out of character.
Even better than the tier 1 players, than the tier 2 players. And I feel like that's something that we're going to have to be seeing today, especially when you're going against a Corey, that when he's playing on the Raze, when he's playing that comfort, he looks insane. And that can also be an answer to play around, because Corey, we've seen with the Neon, we've seen with the Raze, he's played Sova, he's played whatever, and that's always been his mentality, Roy, of, you know, I'll play whatever the team needs, and a lot of the times it is, hey, we won you on the duelist, you're pretty good at it, and that's the way that they've been winning, and the way that they could win today.
Yeah, I mean, the flexibility is the name of the game between these two matchups, right? Like, almost every player in this server can play multiple roles. Like, you even have Bones, the youngest player in the league, able to play, like, controllers, he's able to play Sentinel, he's able to play initiators, now he's down the duelist. Like, any role you put, some of these players in, they're going to perform exceptionally well. And I think that, to me, is why this matchup is very interesting, because these players are.
What does this mean?
It's not unlikely to see them play 3 different agents in a 3-map pool, right? Like, they're so flexible, and the level of versatility is pretty impressive, to be honest.
Definitely impressive. I mean, just flexibility out of the wazoo for these teams.
What does this guy mean?
We did really, you know, playing the solo smoke agent, but other than that, pretty much everybody is able to flex into different areas. But I really like the Corey on the Duelist. He brings it back to the old Smeeg era phase. And
pretty cool,
you know,
huh?
just running it down. I mean,
cool.
it's in this guy's blood, really. When this guy is just given the freedom and the support behind him, to just, you know, Smeeg in there and get kills and frag out. It's his comfort zone. You see him hit this flow state, and sometimes it's just a scary thing.
He can also be the selfless
Horizon
duelist where he has to go in.
Wait, why am I falling?
And he's gonna do that. Maybe he'll die a couple times, but it's fine. He created the space, and that's the way that Dark Zero wins some of those rounds. But let's jump into the agent select though. Let's figure out what the two today, Dark Zero and Fluffy
the redemption
one of Haven. And I mean, we talked about the Corey, but
Corey Reyna.
Reyna, it's gonna be a duel.
Wait a second.
Two duelists. V-Dog
Wait
on
a
Jet,
second.
Corey on the Reyna, and on the other side, Psycho, you have Bones on Neon.
Yeah, you know, I like seeing Corey on the Duelist, but usually we're seeing him on the movement Duelist, right? The Schmovement Duelist. He's usually on the Neon. He's on the Rays. He's flying around. He's using his movement to outposition players, overwhelm them, and get kills. But I like this confidence pick from Corey. He's obviously feeling it with his aim. He wants to swing and take these fights as Reyna. And Reyna is a feast or famine agent, right? If you're swinging and getting those kills, getting those heals, getting those dismisses on good timings, you're going to be a menace in the server. But if you're getting shut down, your utility is not very useful for the rest of the team.
Yeah, I mean, on the other side as well, I'd like to point out that Fluffy Aimers are pulling a meta that we haven't seen. I mean, we've seen this meta a long time ago, but we haven't seen it recently, at least not in challengers as well. They're pulling out the double controller on this map with the Neon that is able to kind of provide that, supplement the fact that they don't have a breach, so they can still take control of the map. They still have the, you know, gotta go fast playstyle, but they also have a lot of control utility. So the clash of playstyles between these two teams is going to be really fun to watch.
I'm pretty sure with this Reyna pick, we've seen almost, if not every single duelist so far be played in challengers. I mean, that is what you get in this tier 2. That is what you get when it's elimination match. Let's find out who takes this map of Haven between Dark Zero and Fluffy Aimers. Casters, Shift, and Wyatt, take it away.
No, Shift. No!
That's a painful moment. It's just a moment between Wyatt and myself. It was a straight opening, I'll tell you that much.
The way you were just
ranting with such
excitement. No idea what the hell this guy was saying.
Are we rooting for him?
Yeah, I'm trying to dive into the dusty tomes here, Shift. Open them up and see what's going on with this comp. Has anyone ever played this before?
Toss him across the room.
I was going back, and
he's so cute though.
It made me think of Paper X, and they did in fact play this before. There you go. Is this something that Paper X played before on Haven? I don't know if that's
not
Dark
root
Zero's
for them,
inspiration for this.
Keep him here.
Kind of come out of nowhere. I mean, they lost their last game on Haven to Blinn. They didn't just lose it. They got stomped into the dark.
I
right?
forgot.
Like, that was a tough showing. But that was without Weeded. That was with a roll swap.
I forgot.
Prior to that, they beat Oxygen on this
Pain
map
Creeks.
with
what he's done to you
standard
guys.
meta comp with Jet Breach, all that stuff. But no, we've gone away from
yes,
that
we should gamble.
We
should gamble.
Crazy new stuff.
And I came off the throw saying I need some justice for
standard
Phoenix.
Viper wall is the same one we used to see.
We haven't seen in all
it's a great wall that.
Get a quick little flash.
Old school Fnatic smoke for the exit.
Killjoy utility is in place, so just gonna push off Fluffy Aimers just a touch. Paranoia also coming across the site as Dark Zero want to contest this early and often. On the backside of the site, able to find the first 2 kills. Spike also down.
Yo, Adder.
Nicely done so far. You have to imagine the morale's pretty solid for Dark Zero today, getting their boy Weeded back in the server with them. Let me trying to wrap around, try and pinch
Robert,
these
we're gonna see
players,
more. Give me one sec. I'll change
in.
for pistol.
Well, that's at least something to work with. Neptune is still stuck in the corner. Couple of attacks from the Ghost.
Setting this prediction, I am so far behind.
HP. But this is taking time here, and the longer this goes, maybe the more beneficial it could be for Fluffy Aimers, but Mummy not quite able to get out of that backside garage position. Neptune is still stuck in the corner, and this is all relying on the fact that Jonah can hit a good piece of timing to come around this flank from the A connector, and as B-Dog gets the one tap, Neptune will drop. Great stuff, though, from Adder, just to single-handedly hold off the hit from Fluffy Aimers.
Yeah, 100%. He gets those high-impact kills and makes the job for everyone else all too easy. Just play quite passively, hold the proper angles for each other, and clean things up. So immediately Dark Zero off to a great start. Already half the rounds that they got the last time they played this map Shift. So they can already eclipse that early on here. Now they've been really good on this map. There was just the obvious troubles caused by having to make those roll swaps, etc. last time. And now things should be looking much better for them. I mean, this is a team that we're beating Oxygen that we had at the absolute top of the rankings. Great shot from Neptune, though.
We did.
I don't know what this live tweet is, but you know what? We're live.
It looked like maybe Mummy had the same information, maybe not initially, but Neptune backs up, finds his second. Eventually, we start to see the benefit of winning the pistol starting to come through, but Spike's gonna get planted here today, and honestly, Outlaw Bulldog with maybe a shock dart and a recon, it just doesn't feel all that plausible here for Dark Zero in the 4v2 situation with Bones having upgraded to the Bulldog.
I mean, how the hell does Bones get away with that?
Out.
Pushing up into B.
Crazy.
Super talented duelist, added a lot of firepower to this Fluffy Aimers team when he...
Just for the rest of... Wait, they actually lost this round? What the fuck? I look back...
away with winning this eco round out of nowhere. I mean, that was just straight up shots being hit, nothing intricate, no crazy go round out to a little combo setup to find a pick. No, they just
what happened?
Tapped on heads. Remind you that we're playing an
what
FPS
just happened?
game.
That's a good shot though on Bones. I mean, he's been leading the charge in terms of the team when it comes kind of to ACS.
Oh my god.
His role has been one of those that we've kind of credited a couple of other teams. Like, he is a selfless duo when it comes to playing into a duelist entry role.
Oh
it just feels interesting because, you know, obviously kind of going back to stage 1 and pretty much all of last year,
Yikes, dog.
we spotlighted duelists
horrible
for being
play
able to
around the
pop
B
off
site
takeover
by
games.
those three.
Bones has that potential,
really
but
poor teamwork.
him running things like, you know, playing it right here on the Neon, it just kind of goes to show that he's using the duelist role more in kind of a supportive, how do we break down the site as a squad, not just me running in and hopefully finding entry kills.
Jet Reyna, is this ranked?
Absolutely, and with this iteration of the roster, they have more than enough firepower for that follow-up to find the trades off them. Pancakes has been great this season, but all right, here for Dark Zero, they're trying to press up towards the A side of the map, and Fluffy Aimers are opening things up in a relatively passive way.
Oh, that timing is crazy.
Opportunity. Pancakes falls off.
That was a good opportunity for
They've
Pancakes too.
lost all control of A.
He must have fallen to throw a smoke.
See how they try to pivot with this. I mean, you got the early trap wire down at C.
Why else would he
plus
fall,
also spy
right?
cam at grass here for Fluffy Aimers. So looking like they maybe want to try to throw some influence in towards Garage. Maybe see if they can pull back that Dark Zero defense over towards the outside.
What are you guys talking about in chat right
after
now?
a smoke, a Trailblazer is used. This is pretty expensive here for Fluffy Aimers, trying to establish some consideration that, hey, we still could be looking towards A, and the defense has to respect
you're
that.
the best. Thank you so much for the pred. I forgot to click submit earlier. Maybe I did click submit, but you had already heard
defenders could think that someone is crossing the short, but Fluffy Aimers' intention are
because they're so turtle-pilled.
Dark Zero, they're ready though. 3 players stacked up.
We did holding on to a paranoia, just waiting to see if the sentry turret activates. That will be his call to go. Overdrive out Bones, trying to get on the corner, but I was going to send it paranoia. Hits perfectly, but it doesn't make a difference. Bones still comes away with 2. Problem is, the rest of the defense holds on to the choke point, and that may be about the end of this hit for Fluffy Aimers. Have to work through with Neptune and Pancakes, and the angles are being watched. Corey.
Damn. Okay, Corey.
Tap from Corey.
All right.
3 for the round, 1 off the Empress going into round 4.
That's a fantastic call from their IGL Stellar. Just
this is such an interesting matchup, by the way, guys, because here's what's going on here. I mean, like, think about the vision denial over here. They got cages for, like, A cross, maybe C long. They got smokes, obviously. They have this wall cutting across the entire round that's also blocking off B. They have a fucking neon wall. Dude, the vision denial over here is crazy. This comp can go insane this half. So this early start for DZ is very important. I think the longer the half goes on, the more momentum Fluffy should get theoretically, and that's where I would get worried for DZ.
Definitely not a round you want to say is an easy win for Dark Zero.
Could have been really bad that they lost that eco.
Not even going to bother with the A long setup here, just trusting into Stellar's utility from the high ground at Heaven to be the only major defensive consideration. As Dark Zero are saying, if they don't have rifles, they're likely going to be hitting up the middle in some form.
Yeah, Pancakes has got himself inserted in short, but will be falling back. Dog patience on the angle. Good crosshair placement. Aware of Bones even. Wow.
Wow, that's crazy.
Lovely 2-piece from B-Dog, and that should close this round up.
Yeah.
Unless Pancakes can make a miracle happen. Well-timed drone from Stellar to ping him out, get that information as well.
That's after the recon also illuminated some of the players deep towards A long. But still, Heaven pushed back. Stellar does take quite a considerable amount of damage. So that now.
So Saturn asked about like Fade as the solo initiator instead of Sky. I would say my concern with Fade as like a solo initiator is typically like, I'm gonna explain a scenario, and I'm sure you guys will follow along. But maybe I should wait till next round. I'll wait till next round so you can kind of see how it plays out. Because I can use it as an example to kind of build off of. While we're in this round, though, someone in YouTube earlier asked, like, are the MXS boys out? Are they playing? Like, what's going on? Did they qualify? They have one game in the upper finals on the 29th, which is in... What is the 29th, actually? I have no fucking idea what day that is. Monday. So it's on Monday. They play on Monday against M80. If whoever wins this best of 3 qualifies for Ascension, they qualify. So this is a fucking huge match. This is what the whole year was for. There are 2 slots that go to Ascension, so they'll still have one more chance in this series if they were to lose. But I will point out again that this is exactly the scenario this team was in last year. The exact scenario. They played M80 in these upper finals, and then they lost to the Garden, the lowers. So while it looks like they have 2 chances and we're like complacent, just remember, this has happened before.
Adder also recognizing the threat over towards Garage, has to pop the nano to slow things down.
Grand Finals is for seeding at Ascension.
As we move over towards the outside play, yeah, 1-for-1 exchange. Not the worst news here for Dark Zero, but you're going to need Stellar to move back, especially with midgrass starting to open up. Seekers charge, Seekers push, and maybe an isolation towards Weed.
My reason for Fade chat as like a solo initiator being somewhat sketchy is you saw the Seekers used right there. You see this guy has Dog. So imagine this wall not being here and coming back to A, right? You would probably Dog from this spot, or maybe like flash this cubby right here and then do like a high-low peak right here for short. So you're like clearing out all of like these close lines, like the op lines, and then you're double peeking the short peak. Huge kill by We Did. 3-on-2 now in favor of Turtle Troop. The Prowlers really don't do the job at like making this distance, if you know what I mean. Like, imagine there being an op on short. Your Prowler's not pushing that guy off. Like, there's a high likelihood you're going to lose a player in that scenario. And that's where the Viper comes in handy, right? That's why your question is very specific to this comp. And it was with the Viper, and I'm answering it now specifically because of that comp. So, yeah, normally I wouldn't be cool with the solo Fade, but
so well done. But now it's down to Weeded. Opening shot to Keeson. Stellar able to hold this thing, and he may try to go for the full, but no, the right click.
That's pretty sick. That's pretty sick.
What a post plant hold, and a 2v4 for FAIM.
He played that so well, and despite going for that wrap to Garage, was worried there that he'd be disconnected from Neptune in that 2 versus 3, but actually found the perfect timing, and that dark cover that he threw down for Neptune to play around was perfect. Pancakes with a massive play.
So then the next question was about Ascension.
Yeah, that covered right there.
So like, what's Ascension like? So like I said, 2 teams from this will qualify to this Ascension tournament. This Ascension tournament is composed of 2 North American teams. So from that bracket we just saw, 2 LATAM teams from these teams, and then 2 Brazilian teams qualifying from here. And they all play together in this tournament. Only one advances.
Bones, though, once again, seeing early pressure. I mean, I'm telling you, Dark Zero, not afraid to say, here we are, come fight us. Not just over towards mid. You've got the angle of the Outlaw being watched by B-Dog, and he doesn't even need the dash, although
DZ playing really well in these early rounds, by the way. Having 3 on the board, fighting tooth and nail all these rounds, so really close.
I mean, right now, DZ, it looks like they think they're playing Replication, and every player's on Reyna. They're just dry peeking so many of these angles.
Well, this is DZ.
We did just
this is DZ.
A nice little stroll out of Garage.
This round is DZ trying to fake like they're not playing retake, but they are playing retake. They have no intention of playing this site. Alarm bot for long, Molly on default, Molly for a spawn push, and the Killjoy playing Link. The Killjoy's planning on locking down, but needs to live in case of a scenario like this. Like, you can see the layers here. They're very aware of all these death conditions for this Killjoy. So the Killjoy's playing this weird off angle. The Jet can help and rotate. The Jet shows presence A. And now they've come back into this, and now we should get the lockdown retake.
The paranoia from the back, plus the lockdown. It's a complete stranglehold of FAIM on the site. Weeded knows that he's going to have players trying to go his direction, and Mummy will not be able to get there. Pancakes trying to make it interesting, but it's a clean round for Dark Zero.
They look really good.
Shot from Corey onto Neptune. That was wild. He's looking clean right now. And good fortune that he's playing the Reyna when his aim is hitting like that today.
Yeah, I'm not really sure how it all works
impressed with Corey this year on all the different.
I will say though, the Americas teams have a